The African savanna is a world of endless horizons where golden grasslands ripple beneath the sun and acacia trees stand as silent sentinels. This vast expanse, stretching for thousands of miles, is a living tapestry woven from the threads of life, death and renewal. It is a kingdom ruled by giants and hunters, where herds of antelope graze alongside powerful predators and every creature is locked in a daily struggle for survival. The beauty of this place is matched only by its harshness. Life here is shaped by two elemental forces, water and fire. The arrival of the rains brings a surge of life, but it is the fire, fierce and untamed, that truly defines the rhythm of the savanna. As the dry season deepens, the once lush grasses wither and turn brittle, their moisture drawn away by the relentless sun. The landscape becomes a sea of tinder, waiting for the spark that will set it ablaze. Often it is a bolt of lightning from a distant storm that ignites the first flames. In an instant, a single spark can awaken a sleeping giant, a wildfire that sweeps across the plains with astonishing speed. These fires are not rare accidents, but ancient recurring events. For millennia, wildfires have pulsed through the savanna, shaping the land and the destinies of every creature that calls it home. The fires themselves are a spectacle of raw, untamed power. Walls of flame leap skyward, consuming everything in their path, their heat felt from miles away. These are not mere brush fires, but roaring infernos that stretch for miles, painting the horizon with thick smoke and an eerie orange glow that lingers long after the sun has set. The sound is a deafening crackle and roar, a symphony of destruction that echoes across the plains. The air shimmers with heat, and the ground trembles beneath the relentless advance of the flames. For the animals of the savanna, the arrival of fire is a moment of crisis. Herds of antelope, zebra, and wildebeest stampede across the grasslands, driven by instinct to escape the encroaching inferno. Birds take to the sky in frantic flocks, while smaller creatures burrow deep into the earth or seek shelter in rocky outcrops. The fire is an indiscriminate force, sparing none in its path. Some animals hide in the thickest bush, enduring the suffocating smoke and searing heat, while others rely on speed and agility to outrun the flames. The air grows thick with smoke, visibility drops to mere meters, and the world is transformed into a chaotic scene of fleeing herds and predators stalking through the haze, seizing opportunities in the confusion. Yet beneath this apparent destruction lies a deeper story. Fire is not merely a force of devastation, it is also a force of renewal. In the aftermath, the blackened earth is soon dotted with the first green shoots. The fire has cleared away dead grass and invasive plants, making room for new life to flourish. Nutrients locked away in old vegetation are released back into the soil, fueling a surge of growth that transforms the landscape almost overnight. Within weeks, the savanna is reborn. Grasses grow taller and greener than before, attracting herds back to graze on the fresh, nutrient-rich shoots. The cycle of destruction and creation is the heartbeat of the savanna. Fire maintains the delicate balance between grassland and woodland, preventing the encroachment of trees and ensuring open spaces for grazing animals. This cycle is essential to the health of the ecosystem. Without fire, the savanna would slowly transform, losing the diversity of life that depends on its open plains. The animals have evolved alongside this rhythm. Some, like the grazing antelope, rely on the flush of new grass, while others, such as certain birds, nest in the safety of recently burned areas, free from thick undergrowth and lurking predators. To truly understand the savanna, one must journey into the heart of the fire season, witnessing both the fury of the flames and the miracle of rebirth that follows. The scale of these annual blazes is staggering, their power a reminder of nature's ability to both destroy and create. Great herds thunder across the plains, their desperate flight a testament to the urgency of survival in a world shaped by fire. Predators move through the smoky landscape, using the confusion to their advantage, while others wait for the fire to pass, knowing that opportunity lies in its wake. Unique species have developed remarkable strategies to cope with this fiery world. Giraffes browse on the fresh leaves that sprout after a burn, while wild dogs use the open terrain to hunt more effectively. This is the story of survival and adaptation, a testament to the resilience of life in the face of fire. In the savanna, fire is not an end but a beginning, a vital force that sustains the balance of this extraordinary ecosystem. To truly comprehend the savanna's fire cycle, one must first grasp its immense scale, a scale that is almost unimaginable in its reach and impact. These are not small, localized events. Each year, wildfires scorch between 300 and 400 million hectares of the African continent, a staggering expanse that dwarfs most countries. To put that into perspective, it is an area roughly the size of India, burning year after year. This relentless cycle of fire is a defining feature of the African landscape. Africa's savannas are the most fire-prone environments on our planet, accounting for over 60% of all the land that burns globally. The frequency of these fires is astonishing. Some regions burn every single year, while others may see fire every 2 to 3 years, creating a patchwork of burned and recovering land. During the peak of the dry season, satellite images reveal the continent aglow with thousands of firefronts. These blazes can ignite and spread with astonishing speed, sometimes advancing at 3 to 5 kilometers per hour, faster than most animals can escape. The heat generated by these fires is immense. While the air temperature may already be high, the ground itself can exceed 100 degrees Celsius, boiling away any remaining moisture. At the heart of the flames, surface temperatures can soar to between 500 and 800 degrees Celsius, hot enough to melt aluminum. This intense heat clears away dense, dead vegetation, turning shrubs, dry grass, and small trees into a thick blanket of smoke and ash. The resulting landscape is often blackened and parched, a stark reminder of the fire's power. In some years, the conditions align for truly exceptional fire seasons. The dry season of August 2024, for example, was one of the most intense in a decade. In just 1 week, fires burned over 22 million hectares, an area larger than many European countries. During that period, an astonishing 80% of all fire activity on Earth was concentrated in this part of Africa, with Angola and the Democratic Republic of Congo at the epicenter. The sheer volume of smoke released is so vast that it can be tracked by satellites as it drifts across the Atlantic Ocean. This is a force that not only reshapes the local landscape, but also has a measurable impact on the global climate system. Each year, the burning of savanna vegetation releases a colossal amount of carbon dioxide into the atmosphere. As the carbon stored in grasses, shrubs, and trees is combusted, it enters the air in the form of greenhouse gases. Globally, savanna fires are responsible for a significant portion of the world's carbon dioxide emissions from burning biomass, by some estimates as much as 71%. The environmental consequences are profound. The smoke and particulates from these fires can travel thousands of kilometers, affecting air quality and even altering rainfall patterns far from their source. The rapid release of carbon is balanced, however, by the equally rapid regrowth that follows. The new growth that follows the fire begins to draw that same carbon back out of the atmosphere almost immediately. The savanna breathes in and out, with fire being the powerful exhale and regrowth the deep restorative inhale. This cycle of burning and renewal is ancient and natural, shaping the biodiversity, structure and function of the African savanna. Yet the sheer scale and frequency of these fires mean their environmental consequences are felt not just locally but across the globe, altering atmospheric chemistry, influencing weather and playing a pivotal role in the Earth's carbon balance. At first glance, a wildfire is the very definition of destruction. The flames sweep relentlessly across the savanna, devouring everything in their path. Tall grasses, shrubs, and even the lower branches of scattered trees. The air is thick with smoke, and the crackle of burning vegetation echoes across the plains. In the immediate aftermath, the landscape is transformed into a world of charcoal and ash. The ground is blackened, the trees stand as skeletal silhouettes, and the air hangs heavy with the scent of smoke. Silence settles over the savanna, broken only by the distant calls of survivors. The toll on animal life is immediate and severe. Small mammals, insects, and slow-moving reptiles that cannot outrun the flames perish in the inferno. The nests of ground-dwelling birds are reduced to smouldering remnants, and the once abundant grasses that fed vast herds are now nothing but ash. For the wildlife that survives, the aftermath is a time of hardship. Grazers, such as antelope and wildebeest, must move on in search of food, leaving behind the barren wasteland. Predators, too, find little to hunt, as their prey has either fled or fallen victim to the flames. The transformation is harsh and absolute. The fire's first act is to strip the land bare, removing the tangled mat of old dry grass and undergrowth that has accumulated over the months. The savanna is scoured clean by this unforgiving element, leaving a stark open canvas. Yet this act of destruction is not the end. As the sun rises over the blackened earth, the first hints of renewal begin to appear. The fire has cleared away the thick dead thatch that once choked the soil and blocked sunlight, setting the stage for a remarkable transformation. The old vegetation, low in nutrients and tough for many herbivores to digest, is gone. In its place, the fire leaves behind a layer of mineral-rich ash filled with potassium, phosphorus, and other nutrients essential for plant growth. This ash acts as a natural fertilizer, enriching the soil and preparing it for the next chapter. The fire, in effect, resets the ecosystem, creating a clean slate for new life to emerge. As the first rains of the wet season fall, the transformation is nothing short of magical. Water seeps into the ash-laden soil, unlocking the nutrients and triggering the dormant seeds that have lain hidden beneath the surface. Within days, vibrant green shoots of grass begin to pierce the blackened earth. The new growth is tender, succulent, and packed with nutrients, far more valuable to grazing animals than the old tough grass it replaced. The savanna, which looked dead just weeks before, is suddenly reborn into a lush green pasture. The new grass grows quickly, covering the ground in a soft emerald carpet. Grazing animals are quick to return, drawn by the irresistible flush of fresh grass. Wildebeest, zebra, and antelope migrate back to the renewed savanna, their herds swelling as they feast on the bounty. The fire which once drove them away now beckons them back. The return of the grazers, in turn, attracts predators, and the web of life is quickly re-established. This cycle of destruction and rebirth is the engine that drives the savanna ecosystem. Fire prevents the grasslands from slowly turning into dense woody thickets, maintaining the open spaces that so many species depend on for survival. The fire creates a patchwork of habitats, some recently burned, some in recovery, and some untouched. This diversity supports a wide range of plant and animal life, increasing the overall biodiversity of the region. In this way, the destructive power of fire is intricately linked to the life-giving force of rain. Together they sustain the magnificent and resilient world of the savanna, where every act of destruction is also a promise of renewal. For the great herbivores of the savanna, the scent of smoke and the flicker of distant flames ignite an ancient instinct: move and move quickly. These animals have evolved over millennia to recognize the earliest signs of fire, and their survival depends on swift collective action. Survival hinges on staying ahead of the advancing inferno, and the savanna's herbivores have developed a remarkable array of strategies to do just that. The vast herds of plains zebra, wildebeest, and impala rely on their speed, stamina, and the safety of numbers. Migration is their greatest weapon. These animals are constantly on the move, following ancient routes that lead them to fresh grazing and away from danger. Impalas, celebrated for their agility, leap high above the grass, sometimes covering up to 10 meters in a single bound. This athleticism allows them to vault over burning brush, fallen logs, and the confusion of a panicked herd. Their powerful jumps not only help them clear obstacles, but also allow them to navigate the chaos, avoiding trampling and finding the safest path through the turmoil. The tsessebe, among the fastest antelopes, can reach speeds of 90 kilometers per hour. This incredible velocity paired with endurance means they can outpace even the swiftest grassfires over long distances. Their ability to sustain such speed is a direct adaptation to the threat of fire, allowing them to escape even when the flames seem to close in from all sides. The collective flight of these herds is a thunderous spectacle. Dust billows, hooves drum the earth, and the air is thick with urgency and survival. Larger herbivores, like elephants and giraffes, employ different tactics shaped by their size and social structure. The African elephant, the largest land animal, relies on intelligence, memory, and complex communication. Their social bonds and matriarchal leadership are crucial in times of crisis. The matriarch, often decades old, leads her family along routes she remembers from past fires, paths to water, open ground, and fire-resistant thickets. Her memory is a living map, guiding the herd to safety and ensuring the survival of the next generation. Elephants communicate using low-frequency rumbles that travel through the ground, alerting distant herds to danger and coordinating movement across vast distances. These seismic signals can warn others of approaching fire long before the smoke is visible, giving entire communities a vital head start. Their immense strength allows them to forge new paths through dense brush, creating escape routes not just for themselves but for countless smaller animals that follow in their wake. In this way, elephants act as ecosystem engineers, shaping the landscape and providing lifelines during times of crisis. Even as flames threaten, their actions ripple through the ecosystem, offering hope and escape to many. Giraffes, with their towering height, have a unique advantage in the face of fire. Standing up to 5.5 meters tall, they can scan the horizon for smoke and flames from kilometers away, acting as sentinels for the entire savanna. Their long-range vision allows them to detect danger early, giving them and nearby animals precious time to react. When a giraffe begins to move with urgency, other species take notice, often following their lead to safety. Despite their awkward appearance, giraffes can gallop at nearly 60 kilometers per hour, covering great distances when threatened. Their long legs allow them to stride efficiently, quickly putting distance between themselves and the fire. Their height also keeps their heads above the densest smoke, allowing them to breathe more easily and maintain awareness as they escape. This adaptation is crucial as smoke inhalation can be as deadly as the flames themselves. Giraffes often become natural watchtowers for other species, their movements signaling when it's time to flee. Antelopes, zebras, and other herbivores watch giraffes closely, taking their cues from these gentle giants. Yet not every animal escapes. The fire's speed and unpredictability can isolate individuals, especially the young, old, or sick. Grass fires can shift direction with the wind, trapping those unable to keep pace with the herd. The most vulnerable, those who lag behind, face the greatest risk, as their strength and speed may not match the demands of escape. Exhaustion, injury, or confusion can leave them stranded, a harsh reality of life on the savanna. Thick smoke disorients and causes respiratory distress, compounding the dangers of the stampede and the fire itself. In the chaos, trampling and confusion can be as deadly as the flames, but these moments also reveal the resilience and adaptability of the survivors. Once the fire passes, the herds regroup, grazing on the fresh, nutrient-rich shoots that quickly sprout from the scorched earth, a testament to the cycle of destruction and renewal. Migration resumes as the search for food and water continues. The ability to move, adapt, and read the ever-changing landscape is the key to their survival. Fleeing fire is just one chapter in the endless journey of the savanna's herbivores, a journey shaped by adaptation, memory, and the wisdom of the wild. Their collective ability to sense danger, migrate and adapt to the rhythms of fire and renewal is a profound testament to their deep connection with this dynamic, ever-changing ecosystem. Section 5. The Hunter's Advantage: Predators in a Scorched World. While the fire brings terror to the herbivores, for the savanna's predators, it brings opportunity. The chaos and upheaval of the fire season transform the landscape, and with it, the strategies and behaviors of every hunter. The thick smoke, swirling ash, and confusion create a perfect hunting environment. Predators exploit the reduced visibility and the panic among prey, adapting their movements to the ever-changing conditions. Lions, the only truly social big cats, use the disarray to their advantage. Their cooperative nature allows them to coordinate complex ambushes, especially when prey is disoriented by the fire. A pride of lionesses, master strategists can use the firefront as a natural barrier, driving panicked prey towards other members of the pride lying in ambush. They communicate with subtle cues, tail flicks, low growls, barely audible above the crackle of burning grass. The thick smoke masks their scent and muffles their movements, allowing them to get closer to their targets than they normally could. Lions lower their bodies, moving with calculated patience, their golden eyes scanning for any sign of weakness among the fleeing herds. The open, blackened landscape left behind after the fire also offers fewer places for prey to hide, creating what biologists call a post-fire predation window where hunting success rates can increase. Predators quickly learn to patrol these exposed areas, knowing that desperate prey have nowhere to run. The spotted hyena, a highly intelligent and relentless hunter, also thrives during the fire season. Hyenas are quick to adapt, shifting their territories to follow the fire line and the vulnerable animals it leaves behind. Often misunderstood as mere scavengers, hyenas are formidable predators, hunting up to 70% of their own food. Their social structure, led by dominant females, allows for coordinated attacks and efficient sharing of resources. With incredible stamina, they can run at 60 kilometers per hour for long distances, pursuing exhausted animals that have been fleeing the flames. Hyenas use vocalizations to communicate during hunts, rallying clan members to outflank and overwhelm their quarry. Their matriarchal clans work together with terrifying efficiency. Each member knows its role, whether to chase, block escape routes, or deliver the final blow. The powerful bite of a hyena, the strongest of any mammal, allows them to make quick work of a kill. Their jaws can crush bone, ensuring that nothing goes to waste in the harsh aftermath of fire. They are drawn to the aftermath of the fire, where weakened animals are easy targets and the scent of burned carcasses hangs in the air. Hyenas' acute sense of smell guides them to fresh kills and opportunities left by other predators. Other predators have their own unique tactics, each species adapting to the new challenges and opportunities of the scorched world. The elusive leopard, a master of stealth, uses the charred landscape for camouflage. Its solitary nature means it must rely on patience and precision, waiting for the perfect moment to strike. Its rosette-spotted coat, perfect for dappled sunlight, is surprisingly effective against the mottled black and grey of a post-fire environment. Leopards move silently, their padded paws barely making a sound on the ashen ground. Leopards are solitary hunters, relying on surprise and a powerful ambush. They often drag their kills into trees away from the reach of other predators, demonstrating remarkable strength and adaptability. They can stalk prey through the smoky haze, their keen senses cutting through the confusion. Even in low visibility, leopards use their acute hearing and vision to detect the slightest movement. The cheetah, the fastest land animal, uses the newly opened plains for its high-speed chases. The lack of tall grass means fewer obstacles, allowing cheetahs to reach their top speeds with less risk of injury. While the fire itself is a danger, the clear terrain it creates is ideal for the cheetah to unleash its explosive acceleration, reaching speeds of over 90 kilometers per hour. Cheetahs time their hunts for when prey is most vulnerable, often targeting young or injured animals left behind by the herds. Even aquatic predators benefit from the fire season, adapting their hunting to the influx of animals seeking water. As fires rage and smaller water sources dry up, animals are forced to congregate at the few remaining rivers and waterholes. This concentration of prey creates a feeding opportunity for predators lurking nearby. This is a boon for the Nile crocodile. These ancient reptiles remain motionless for hours, waiting for the perfect moment to strike. Lying in wait at the water's edge, these ambush predators take advantage of the desperate thirst of animals. Their patience and explosive power make them formidable hunters in the fire season. A zebra or buffalo coming to drink must risk the crocodile's devastating attack, which includes the infamous death roll, a violent spinning maneuver that quickly incapacitates prey. Similarly, African wild dogs, with their cooperative hunting style and incredible endurance, exploit the open terrain to run down their prey. Their coordinated chases can last for kilometers, with each dog taking turns leading the pursuit. For all these hunters, the fire season, while dangerous, shifts the balance of power decisively in their favor. Each predator, through instinct and adaptation, finds new ways to survive and thrive in the scorched world of the savanna. In the aftermath of the fire, a new cast of specialists emerges onto the ashen plains, the scavengers. These resilient survivors are uniquely adapted to thrive in the harsh post-fire landscape, where opportunities and dangers abound. The clean-up crew of the savanna, scavengers play an indispensable role in maintaining the ecosystem's health. By consuming remains left behind by the fire, they ensure that nothing is wasted, recycling nutrients back into the environment and preventing the spread of disease. Towering above the rest is the marabou stork, a giant among scavengers and a master of adaptation. Reaching up to 1.5 meters in height, the marabou stork is an imposing figure. Its bald head and neck are not just for show. These features help it stay clean while feeding deep inside carcasses, reducing the risk of infection from decaying flesh. Marabou storks are true opportunists. Their diet is incredibly varied, ranging from carrion to small mammals, fish, insects, and even scraps left by other animals. This flexibility allows them to survive when food is scarce, especially after a fire has swept through the land. After the flames, marabou storks patrol the scorched earth, searching for animals that perished in the blaze. They also hunt for small creatures like insects, lizards, and rodents, now exposed and vulnerable on the barren soil. Their keen eyesight and patience make them formidable hunters in this stark environment. High above, the white-backed vulture circles on rising thermals, scanning the ground for any sign of a meal. These vultures are among the savanna's most efficient scavengers, perfectly adapted for life in the open skies. With extraordinary eyesight, white-backed vultures can spot a carcass from several kilometers away. Their ability to detect even the slightest movement or glint of flesh gives them a crucial advantage in the vast open landscape. Vultures are also highly social. When one bird descends to feed, others quickly notice and follow, forming a swirling mass of wings as they converge from all directions. This social network ensures that no meal goes unnoticed for long. Vultures are nature's ultimate recyclers, stripping carcasses clean with remarkable efficiency. Their powerful beaks and strong stomachs allow them to consume even the toughest remains, leaving little behind for disease to take hold. Their digestive systems are marvels of evolution. With stomach acid strong enough to neutralize deadly bacteria and toxins, vultures can safely consume carcasses infected with anthrax, cholera, and other lethal pathogens, substances that would kill most other animals. By removing decaying bodies from the plains, vultures act as the savanna's sanitation department. Their work prevents outbreaks of disease, protecting not only wildlife but the entire ecosystem from the dangers of unchecked decay. But vultures and marabou storks are not the only scavengers to benefit from the fire. Other, more surprising species also take advantage of the changed landscape. The black kite, a highly adaptable bird of prey, is renowned for its intelligence and resourcefulness. Unlike the larger scavengers, black kites are agile and quick, able to snatch up small prey and scraps with ease. Black kites often follow the very edge of the fire, swooping down to catch insects, small mammals, and reptiles as they flee the flames. Their sharp reflexes and keen eyesight make them expert hunters in this chaotic environment. Each scavenger species, from the towering marabou stork to the nimble black kite, has carved out a unique niche in the post-fire savanna. Their survival tactics, whether it's powerful digestion, social cooperation, or clever hunting, are all vital threads in the fabric of life here. In the savanna, fire is not just a force of destruction, but a catalyst for renewal, shaping the destinies of all who call these ashy plains home. The relationship between fire and the savanna landscape is as old as the ecosystem itself, woven into the very fabric of life here. Long before humans began to shape fire, the savanna was already a stage for natural fire cycles, sparked by lightning and fueled by the rhythm of the seasons. Animals, too, have evolved alongside these fires. Many species have developed remarkable strategies to survive and even thrive amidst the flames. As fires sweep through, birds like the fork-tailed drongo and the black kite follow the smoke, hunting insects and small animals fleeing the blaze. Some raptors have even been observed carrying burning sticks to new areas, intentionally spreading fire to flush out prey. Large mammals, such as elephants and antelope, instinctively move toward recently burned patches where the first flush of green shoots offers rich, nutritious grazing. Smaller creatures burrow underground or seek refuge in moist, unburned pockets. The patchwork of burned and unburned areas created by both natural and animal-driven fires acts as a living mosaic. This dynamic landscape limits the spread of future fires, creating natural fire breaks and protecting vulnerable habitats. Fire also plays a crucial role in the life cycles of many savanna plants. Some seeds require the intense heat of a blaze to crack open and germinate, while others sprout rapidly in the nutrient-rich ash left behind. This renewal attracts herbivores, which in turn draw predators, setting off a cascade of life that pulses through the ecosystem after every fire. Even termites and dung beetles play a part, breaking down charred plant matter and recycling nutrients, helping the land recover and flourish. Over millennia, these natural processes have shaped a savanna that is resilient, diverse, and ever-changing, a landscape where fire is not an enemy but a vital force of renewal. When this ancient balance is disrupted by suppressing fire or allowing unchecked blazes, the ecosystem suffers. Dense vegetation builds up, and when fire finally comes, it can be catastrophic. Today, scientists and conservationists are learning from these natural rhythms, seeking to restore the ancient wisdom of fire management that the land itself has always known. By working with fire, rather than against it, we can help maintain the delicate balance that sustains the wild savanna and all its inhabitants. As the fire season intensifies across the savanna, survival depends not only on individual strength, but on the remarkable teamwork and natural strategies developed by animal species over millennia. In this vast landscape, animals have evolved intricate ways to communicate and cooperate, forming alliances that help them detect danger and escape the path of fire. Birds like oxpeckers and drongos act as sentinels, raising alarm calls that ripple through herds, alerting grazers to the first signs of smoke or the crackle of distant flames. Elephants, with their immense strength, often forge escape routes through thick vegetation, creating corridors that smaller animals use to flee approaching fires. Underground, termites and aardvarks engineer complex burrow systems that become vital refuges for countless creatures, offering shelter from heat and smoke. During a fire, these burrows become sanctuaries where reptiles, small mammals, and even amphibians gather in a rare display of interspecies cooperation. Above the flames, birds use their keen eyesight and aerial perspective to locate safe havens, often guiding ground-dwelling animals to patches of unburnt land. Herds rely on the wisdom of their elders, matriarchs, who remember ancient escape routes and lead their groups to safety, demonstrating the power of shared knowledge. After the flames pass, a new kind of teamwork emerges. Insects, birds, and mammals return to the scorched land, each playing a role in the rapid regeneration of the ecosystem. Dung beetles disperse seeds, birds spread nutrients, and grazers trim new shoots, accelerating the recovery of the savanna and ensuring food for all. At waterholes, species that might otherwise compete come together in a temporary truce, united by the need for survival and the promise of renewal. In the wild savanna, survival during fire season is not just a matter of instinct, but of collaboration. An ancient, natural technology perfected by generations of animals working together. Through shared vigilance, communication, and cooperation, the animals of the savanna demonstrate that the greatest strength lies in unity, nature's own answer to the challenges of fire and change. The story of the African savanna is a powerful tale of resilience, an ancient land where life endures against all odds. Here, the dramatic interplay of fire and rain, destruction and rebirth, shapes a world in constant transformation. Wildfires sweep across the plains, testing the strength and adaptability of every creature that calls this place home. Yet fire is not merely a force of destruction, it is a catalyst for renewal, clearing the way for new life to flourish. In the aftermath, the savanna bursts with green shoots and vibrant grasslands, nourishing herds of antelope, zebras, and elephants as they return to graze. The elephant matriarch leads her family across the rejuvenated plains, her wisdom guiding them to water and safety. Vultures soar overhead, cleansing the land and ensuring the cycle of life continues unbroken. Every animal, from the smallest insect to the tallest giraffe, plays a vital role in this intricate web of life. The challenges are immense. Droughts parch the earth and resources grow scarce. Yet the animals of the savanna have evolved remarkable strategies to survive, enduring the harshest seasons and waiting patiently for the rains to return. Elephants dig for water in dry riverbeds, their persistence sustaining not only themselves but countless other species who follow in their footsteps. Lions and rhinos, guardians of the grasslands, adapt to shifting landscapes, their resilience a testament to the enduring spirit of the wild. The balance of the savanna is delicate, but nature's capacity for recovery is profound. Across the plains, herds gather once more, reclaiming spaces that were once barren, their presence breathing life back into the land. The savanna's future is written in the resilience of its animals and the cycles of renewal that follow every hardship. As dawn breaks, young animals play in the dew-soaked grass, a new generation thriving in the wake of adversity. The savanna's recovery is a testament to the power of nature's design, each species adapting, each ecosystem healing in its own time. Herds of antelope graze on fresh grass, their numbers growing as the land recovers, a living symbol of hope and renewal. Wildebeest thunder across the open plains, zebras and gazelles in their wake, the pulse of life echoing across the savanna. The roar of the lion resounds at sunset, a reminder that the wild heart of the savanna endures. With every sunrise, the savanna is reborn, its animals resilient, its landscapes healing, its future bright with the promise of life renewed for generations to come. Gap 2S. Beneath the vast sky and charred earth, a hidden army awakens. Insects, often overlooked, become the unsung heroes of the savanna's recovery after fire. As the smoke clears and the ground cools, beetles, ants, and termites emerge from their shelters, drawn to the fresh landscape of opportunity. Decomposer insects are the first responders. Dung beetles roll charred droppings and decaying plant matter, breaking it down and burying nutrients deep into the soil. Termites swarm over fallen branches and burnt grass, their powerful jaws turning tough debris into fine particles. Through their endless labor, these tiny workers accelerate decomposition, recycling vital elements and enriching the soil for new growth. Elsewhere, ants tunnel beneath the surface, aerating the earth and allowing rainwater to seep deep into the roots of emerging grasses. Their colonies redistribute seeds, some of which only sprout after being exposed to the heat of fire. As these seeds germinate, the savanna quickly transforms from blackened fields to vibrant green. Pollinators soon follow. Butterflies and bees dart among the first wildflowers to bloom, carrying pollen from one plant to another. Their delicate work ensures that the next generation of grasses, shrubs and trees will flourish, restoring the savanna's rich tapestry of life. Insects also play a crucial role in the food web. As their numbers surge, they become a feast for returning birds, reptiles, and small mammals. The abundance of insect life supports the recovery of larger animals, weaving the fabric of the ecosystem back together, thread by thread. In the aftermath of fire, it is the smallest creatures that set the stage for renewal. With each decomposed twig, each pollinated bloom, and each meal provided, insects drive the rebirth of the savanna, proving that even the tiniest inhabitants have a mighty impact on the wild heart of Africa. Amidst the ashen landscape, a remarkable transformation is quietly underway. The true survivors of the savanna, grasses, begin their journey of renewal. Unlike many plants, savanna grasses are built for adversity. Their most vital parts, the roots and growing points, lie safely hidden beneath the soil, shielded from the heat of passing flames. When fire sweeps across the plain, it may scorch their leaves, but deep underground the roots remain alive and ready. These extensive root networks store water and nutrients, providing the energy needed for rapid regrowth. As soon as rains return, green shoots push through the blackened earth, often within days of the fire. Some grasses have evolved even more ingenious strategies. Certain species produce seeds that only germinate after exposure to fire's heat or the chemicals in smoke. This adaptation ensures that new life emerges when competition is low and sunlight is abundant. Wind and animals scatter these seeds far and wide, helping grasses reclaim the land. As fresh blades unfurl, they stabilize the soil, preventing erosion and creating a protective carpet for other plants to follow. Their swift recovery offers food for returning herbivores and shelter for countless small creatures. In this way, grasses not only survive the fire, they thrive because of it, driving the renewal of the savanna and ensuring that life will always find a way back. In the endless cycle of destruction and rebirth, it is the resilience of grasses that anchors the savanna's future, turning devastation into hope and blackened plains into seas of green once more. As the savanna begins its journey of renewal, another group of survivors takes center stage: birds. From the ashes, a diverse array of bird species adapts to and even thrives in the post-fire environment. These avian inhabitants have evolved remarkable strategies to benefit from the transformed landscape. The first to arrive are opportunistic feeders like the fork-tailed drongo and the yellow-billed kite. They soar through the smoky skies, keenly observing the ground below. The fire's aftermath reveals an abundance of prey, disoriented insects, exposed rodents, and vulnerable reptiles. For these birds, the burnt plains are a feast laid out by nature itself. Ground-nesting birds, such as the red-capped lark, find the cleared land advantageous for laying their eggs. With the dense underbrush temporarily removed, these birds can spot predators from a distance, giving them a better chance to protect their nests. The charred ground also makes for excellent camouflage, blending the eggs and chicks seamlessly into their surroundings. Seed-eating species like the red-billed quelea take advantage of the fire-stimulated growth of grasses. As new shoots emerge, so do the seeds, providing a rich food source. The abundance of seeds attracts large flocks, turning the once barren landscape into a lively feeding ground. Birds like the southern ground hornbill even use the fire to their benefit by foraging through the burnt debris. These large, intelligent birds search for small animals that failed to escape the flames, making the most of the altered environment. Woodpeckers and other cavity-nesting birds find new opportunities in the dead and dying trees left in the fire's wake. These trees become prime real estate for nesting sites, offering safety and an elevated view of the recovering landscape. In the larger picture, birds play a crucial role in the savanna's regeneration. As they feed and move about, they help disperse seeds and control insect populations, contributing to the ecosystem's balance and encouraging new growth. Through their adaptability and resilience, birds turn the scorched savanna into a thriving habitat once more. Their presence is a testament to nature's ability to rebound, showing that life in all its forms finds a way to flourish even in the face of destruction. As the sun sets over the recovering plains, the air fills with the songs of birds, a harmonious chorus celebrating the enduring spirit of the savanna. As flames sweep across the savanna, their reach often extends to the rivers and wetlands that thread through this vast landscape. The interaction between fire and water is a delicate balance with far-reaching consequences for the ecosystem. When fire scorches the land, the immediate aftermath can be devastating. The intense heat and smoke can cause a rapid increase in water temperature, affecting aquatic life. Fish and other aquatic organisms adapted to specific temperature ranges may find themselves in inhospitable conditions. Some may perish, while others are forced to seek cooler, deeper waters, disrupting the balance of the aquatic ecosystem. The ash and debris from the fire settle into the rivers and wetlands, altering the water's chemistry. Nutrient levels can spike, leading to algal blooms that deplete oxygen levels in the water, creating hypoxic conditions. These oxygen-starved environments can lead to fish kills, affecting the food chain and the overall health of the water body. Yet nature has its ways of healing. The charred remains of vegetation begin to decompose, releasing nutrients back into the soil and water. These nutrients can eventually support new plant growth in and around the water sources. Aquatic plants such as reeds and water lilies begin to flourish, stabilizing the soil and preventing erosion. The wetlands, often referred to as the kidneys of the landscape, play a crucial role in filtering the ash-laden water. As water flows through these marshy areas, sediments and pollutants are trapped by the dense vegetation, purifying the water before it continues its journey downstream. This natural filtration system is vital for maintaining water quality and supporting a diverse range of aquatic and terrestrial life. In the aftermath of a fire, the rivers and wetlands become a refuge for many animals. Herbivores, in search of new grazing grounds, are drawn to the fresh growth around water sources. Predators follow, creating a dynamic and bustling ecosystem. Birds too find new opportunities here, with some species using the wetlands for nesting and feeding. The interplay between fire and water also influences the long-term health of the savanna. Periodic fires, though destructive, prevent the overgrowth of vegetation that can choke rivers and wetlands. This cyclical process ensures that these vital water sources remain open and accessible, supporting the diverse life forms that depend on them. As the savanna recovers, the rivers and wetlands stand as symbols of resilience and renewal. Their ability to bounce back from the ravages of fire highlights the intricate connections within the ecosystem. Through fire and water, the savanna continues its eternal dance, a testament to nature's remarkable capacity for regeneration and balance. In the end, the impact of fire on rivers and wetlands is a story of destruction and rebirth, a reminder that even in the face of adversity, life finds a way to endure and thrive. As the sun sets and darkness envelops the savanna, a different world awakens. This is the realm of nocturnal creatures, whose lives are intricately adapted to the cover of night. After a fire has swept through the landscape, these animals face unique challenges and opportunities in the charred aftermath. In the silence of the night, the air is filled with the scent of burnt vegetation and the distant calls of night-dwelling animals. The first to emerge are often the small mammals, such as the African bush babies and nocturnal rodents. These creatures are adept at navigating the altered terrain, using their keen senses to find food and shelter amidst the ashes. Bush babies, with their large, reflective eyes, leap from branch to branch, searching for insects and fruits that survived the flames. Their agile movements and acute hearing allow them to avoid predators and locate sustenance in the darkened landscape. Meanwhile, rodents scavenge the ground, uncovering seeds and roots that were buried deep enough to escape the fire's wrath. Predators like the African wildcat and the serval also thrive in the post-fire savanna. These stealthy hunters use the cover of night to stalk their prey, which is often more exposed in the aftermath of a fire. The reduced vegetation makes it easier for predators to spot and capture their meals, ensuring their survival during these challenging times. Owls, the silent hunters of the night, take advantage of the open spaces left by the fire. With their exceptional night vision and silent flight, they swoop down on unsuspecting rodents and insects. The fire's aftermath creates a temporary boon for these birds, as the scarcity of cover forces prey into more vulnerable positions. Reptiles, such as geckos and nocturnal snakes, also emerge under the cover of darkness. These cold-blooded creatures find the residual warmth of the scorched earth to their advantage, using it to regulate their body temperature as they hunt for insects and small mammals. Their ability to blend into the charred surroundings makes them efficient predators in this transformed environment. Even nocturnal insects play a crucial role in the savanna's recovery. Moths and beetles, attracted to the remaining patches of vegetation, become vital pollinators, helping to kickstart the regeneration of plant life. Their activity ensures that the seeds of surviving plants are spread across the landscape, paving the way for new growth. As the hours pass and dawn approaches, the nocturnal creatures retreat to their shelters, having navigated the challenges of a post-fire world. Their resilience and adaptability highlight the intricate balance of life in the savanna, where each species plays a role in the ecosystem's recovery. In the aftermath of the flames, the nocturnal world stands as a testament to nature's enduring spirit. Through the darkness, life finds a way to persist, adapt, and ultimately thrive, ensuring that the savanna's cycle of destruction and renewal continues unbroken. Beneath the sweeping drama of savanna fires, a quieter story unfolds, one of microhabitats and hidden survivors. Even as flames race across the grasslands, pockets of life persist in the most unlikely places. Rocky outcrops, termite mounds, and deep crevices act as natural fire shelters. These microhabitats offer refuge for a host of lesser-known species. Tiny frogs burrow deep into the moist soil, escaping the heat above. Under the protective armor of termite mounds, colonies of insects and small reptiles weather the Inferno, insulated by thick clay walls. Some spiders and scorpions retreat into cracks in rocks or under fallen logs, emerging only after the danger has passed. Even delicate orchids and rare succulents may survive, tucked into shaded crevices where flames cannot reach. As the landscape cools, these survivors become the pioneers of recovery. Dung beetles, shielded underground, resurface to recycle nutrients from the charred remains. Ants, having sealed their tunnels, reopen them to resume their ceaseless work, helping to aerate the soil and disperse seeds. Minute rodents, like the pygmy mouse, emerge from hidden nests deep within thick tufts of grass that the fire skipped over. These untouched patches, known as fire refugia, become vital islands of life, sources of food, shelter, and new beginnings. Even at the smallest scale, the savanna's resilience shines through. These microhabitats and hidden survivors quietly ensure that no matter how fierce the fire, life in the savanna is never completely extinguished. Instead, it endures, patiently waiting to flourish again. Beneath the surface of the scorched savanna, a remarkable transformation begins, led by some of the savanna's smallest yet most powerful inhabitants, fungi. After the fire, while the landscape above seems barren and lifeless, underground networks of fungal threads known as mycelium spring into action. Fungi are nature's recyclers. As soon as the flames die down, spores carried by the wind or lying dormant in the soil sense the change. They rapidly colonize the charred remains, fallen branches, burnt grass, and animal waste. With relentless efficiency, these fungi break down tough organic matter, releasing essential nutrients like nitrogen, phosphorus, and potassium back into the soil. This process of nutrient cycling is critical. Plants that survive the fire and seeds waiting to sprout rely on the renewed fertility of the soil. Mycorrhizal fungi, forming symbiotic partnerships with plant roots, help seedlings absorb water and nutrients more effectively. In turn, the plants provide the fungi with sugars produced through photosynthesis, a silent collaboration that fuels the rebirth of the savanna. Mushrooms, the fruiting bodies of fungi, soon appear on the blackened earth. They are not only signs of recovery, but also sources of food for insects and small mammals emerging from their refuges. As these animals feed, they help disperse fungal spores even further, stitching together a tapestry of renewal across the landscape. In this hidden world beneath our feet, fungi orchestrate a quiet revolution. They transform ash and debris into the building blocks of new life, laying the foundation for grasses, wildflowers, and trees to reclaim the plains. Without fungi, the cycle of destruction and rebirth in the savanna would falter. Through their tireless work, the savanna's recovery begins, one microscopic thread at a time. Fire in the savanna is not just a force of nature, it is a rhythm shaped by the ever-changing climate. Across the African plains, the frequency and intensity of wildfires are closely tied to the weather's grand cycles. During years of abundant rainfall, grasses and shrubs grow thick and tall, creating a dense carpet of fuel. When the dry season arrives, relentless sun and parched winds turn this lush growth into tinder, primed for ignition. But not every year is the same. Variations in climate, such as El Niño and La Niña events, shift the balance. Some years bring longer, harsher droughts, drying out the landscape and increasing the risk of intense, widespread fires. Other times, shorter dry spells or unexpected rains can dampen the flames, leading to fewer or smaller burns. Temperature also plays a crucial role. As global temperatures gradually rise, heat waves become more frequent, further drying the grasses and soils. Even a slight increase in average temperature can extend the fire season, making the savanna more vulnerable to blazes. Wind patterns, too, shape the fire's path. Strong, steady winds can drive flames across vast distances, while still air may keep a fire contained to a small patch. Lightning storms, common at the start of the rainy season, often spark fires that race through the dry grass, setting the cycle in motion once again. In this vast ecosystem, climate and fire are locked in a delicate dance. Each year's weather writes a new chapter, determining how the savanna will burn and, ultimately, how it will heal. Through drought and deluge, heat and wind, the savanna adapts, its ancient rhythms guided by the unpredictable patterns of the sky. Beneath the crackling grass and drifting ash, a hidden world stirs, one where survival depends on patience, resilience, and remarkable adaptations. Meet the reptiles and amphibians of the African savanna, creatures whose lives unfold close to the earth, and whose fates are intimately tied to fire's fury. When wildfires sweep across the plains, many reptiles rely on their cold-blooded nature and keen senses. Snakes and lizards, quick to detect the heat and vibrations of approaching flames, slip into crevices, burrow deep underground, or seek refuge beneath rocks and fallen logs. Their scaly skin resists moisture loss, helping them endure the dry, searing aftermath. Tortoises, armoured in thick shells, retreat into their domed homes, sealing themselves off from the heat and smoke. Some species even dig shallow scrapes, lowering their bodies into the cooler soil until the danger passes. For amphibians, survival depends on timing and habitat. Frogs and toads, sensitive to heat and dehydration, seek out damp refuges, muddy holes, moist burrows, or the edges of shrinking pools. Many remain dormant underground during the hottest, driest months, emerging only when the rains return and the threat of fire fades. Some species have evolved to take advantage of the post-fire landscape. The heat opens up new habitats, clearing dense grasses and exposing patches of sun-warmed earth, perfect for egg-laying or basking. Insects drawn to the scorched ground become easy prey, providing a boost of nourishment for hungry survivors. As the first rains fall and green shoots appear, reptiles and amphibians re-emerge, blending into a world transformed. Their quiet resilience, honed over countless generations, ensures that even in the face of fire's destruction, these secretive denizens of the savanna endure, adapt, and thrive. Over the span of years and decades, repeated wildfires become more than fleeting disasters. They are forces that shape the savanna's destiny. With each blaze, the landscape is sculpted anew and the tapestry of life is subtly rewoven. Some changes are visible. Stretches of open grassland expand while clusters of hardy, fire-tolerant trees persist, their bark thickened and branches high above the flames. Fire-adapted grasses thrive in this cycle, their roots growing deeper and stronger with every burn. Fast to recover, these grasses dominate the plains, crowding out less resilient plants. Over time, the diversity of plant life may shift. Species unable to withstand the regular infernos slowly disappear, replaced by those born to survive fire's embrace. Animal communities, too, evolve alongside the flames. Herbivores that favor open spaces, such as antelope and zebras, flourish, while creatures dependent on dense thickets or shady groves may dwindle as their habitats shrink. The balance between predator and prey ebbs and flows, tied to the availability of shelter and the regrowth of food plants. Even the soil beneath the savanna feels the fire's touch. Nutrients released in the ash briefly feed a surge of new growth, but repeated burns can deplete organic matter, making the earth less fertile over time. Microhabitats shift, favoring some insects and fungi while challenging others, and the very contours of the land may change as erosion exposes bare ground. Yet within this cycle of destruction and renewal, life persists. The savanna's biodiversity bends but rarely breaks, each species adapting, moving, or making way for new arrivals. In the long view, fire is both a sculptor and a test, ensuring only the most adaptable survive in this ever-changing realm.